so brief and melancholy. E'variste Galois, and what a way to die. E'variste Galois, was it fate or was it folly? Poor E'variste, I can't tell you why. But lend an ear, let me tell you of a tale that must be told. E'variste Galois, about a crazy nerd that should have got more. He didn't get any recognition. Nobody chose to hear those strange ideas he longed to share. Au revoir, they just showed him the door. E'variste Galois, le poor bastard. E'variste Galois. Did you need to take evasive action when you came face to face with an improper fraction? Don't be embarrassed, you are not alone. You are not alone. Did you freak out on the very first occasion? Sacre bleu! When you first met a quadratic equation. Oh my God, what is that? It's a formula. Ooh, don't be ashamed, don't be ashamed. You are not alone. You're not alone. But just for tonight, put aside those childhood memories. Taking algebra and trigonometry. You can do it if you try. There's so much more than meets the eye. It's not contagious. In the world of higher mathematics, it's another world indeed. There is beauty and creativity. Like the Mona Lisa? In some ways, yes. Or Michelangelo. But more powerful and so applicable. Bonjour. Oh, it's time to go to the world of higher mathematics. Bonjour, très bon. Oh, it's time to go. Now let me tell you where. A rendezvous. But where? In Quai Paris. Oh, how exciting, s'il vous plaît. Was a time when they both thought they were right, Republicans and royals in a never-ending fight. And if you disagree, you'd be well advised to keep your head down. Into this world, E'variste was born, October 1811, just before the dawn. And in his childhood years, he was schooled from home in a loving family. In 1825, at the age of 14, E'variste discovered the world of higher mathematics. He devoured all the mathematical textbooks as if they were les Harry Potter. Legendre's geometry and the Grande's equations. Hardly bedtime reading for most of us. He now felt that he was ready to apply a year in advance for the École Polytechnique, the most prestigious institution for mathematics in France. It was where he could realize his dreams. E'variste Galois is now 17. He didn't do bad at school, he didn't shine, if you know what I mean. But today is a day that could make you. Don't mess about, you're in or out. Today is a day that could break you, without a doubt. E'variste Galois, he knows an awful lot, but he's missed a year of prep. He should do fine with the talent he's got. But today is a day that could make you. Don't mess about, you're in or out. Today is a day that could break you, without a doubt. The judges are quite crusty, their knowledge rather dusty, but they hold your fate in their hands. Either in, très bon, or out, sacre bleu. So please, just for a change, show all working. That would be a fine thing. Nothing radical, far out, or knee-jerk Keep it simple, stupid. Give them full explanations. They'll understand. Here they come. E'variste Galois. That is my name. C'est bon. And here is your first mathematical question. And here is my answer. A little bit more would be good. And here is another mathematical question. Well, and this is my answer. Try and make them a little bit fuller. And now a more difficult mathematical question. And here is my answer. Oh my God. Many questions later, without a scrap of working. And finally, a relatively easy question, based on the preparatory work you must have done last year. I do not recognize the terms you use. Could you please explain? Explain? Sacre bleu! We are not in the habit of giving out clues. Don't call us. We'll call you. Now that has got to be an act that would be kind of difficult to follow. A bitter pill that you're gonna have to swallow. But self-pity ain't pretty, so don't wallow. So you missed the first rung, but you've only just begun. But don't blame the judges for your melancholy. You blew your date with fate with your arrogance and folly. And you don't need to be a genius to see why they locked the door and they threw away the key. But all is far from lost. We don't need a calculator to count the cost. You can take a deep breath, cause it's only a temporary situation. You're just on probation. And next year you'll know much more. And you'll be older, you'll be wiser when you knock on their door. And you surely could have, would have, should have learned by then to play the game. Play the game, get over it, yet all is far from lost. We don't need a calculator to count the cost. You can take a deep breath, cause it's only a temporary situation. You're just on probation. And next year you'll know much more. And you'll be older, you'll be wiser when you knock on their door. And you surely could have, would have, should have learned by then to play the game. I am what I am, and I make no excuses for my plight. Though it's hard to see why I'm wrong when I know I'm right. They quibble on grammatics and forget the mathematics. But I'm more than just fanatical, I'm proud to be a radical. You see, I am not just a mathematician. I am the son of my father, Republican on a mission. And let me make just one thing plain. This is much more than a game. And all those fools that flock to see the aristocracy with the hypocrisy. And where are the students that think like me? At the Occult Polytechnic. But all is far from lost. If I stop to count the cost, another year and I'll be with my brothers in arms. But in the meantime I will find solace deep within my heart. So many wondrous new ideas are waiting for. In a year it will be just fine. In a year it will be your time. In a year you'll be in a place where you belong. It's just a temporary step. In a year it will be just a necessary stop. In a year you will have your day. And a year is not so very, not so very. And so E'variste returned with a chip on his shoulder and his fingers burned, back to a school where he didn't belong. A school that sucked up to the royalty and sang their song. And so E'variste withdrew to a gentle world of symbols and the only friends he knew. And soon it was where he'd always choose to stay, and his schoolwork in the real world faded away. Uh-oh, parent-teacher's night. This student, you think you know his name, works really well, but only in the highest realms of mathematics. This student, must you tell us more, has but one passion that consumes all his waking hours. Is it political? Mathematics. We think his parents should allow him to study nothing else. Perhaps it's for the best, but with this more, oh my God, he is wasting his time here and does nothing but torment his teachers and overwhelm himself with punishment. Merci beaucoup, and a good night. But E'variste had something to show for his year in limbo. His year in limbo. In April 1829, his very first publication came out. It was a paper on continued fractions, but don't ask me what they're all about. And it was surely just a matter of time before his genius would start to shine. And so he sent another paper to the Scientific Academy. But it would all turn to crap through some bad luck, or was it just destiny? For the very first time, and Cauchy was appointed as the referee, a mega star mathematically. Now did he lose the papers accidentally, like any normal absent-minded nutter? Or did he get his nose out of joint when he kinda missed their point and threw them in the gutter? Sacre bleu! This has got to be another temporary setback. Such bad luck, but c'est la vie. Surely if you try again, you'll get back on the track. So suck it up and claim your rightful destiny. And claim your rightful destiny. Round 2. You can do it, E'variste. Then in 1830, he spruced them up a bit and presented them for the second time. Second time lucky. They were to be considered for the grand prize in mathematics. Oh, wow. Now wouldn't that be fine? Wee, wee. This time for a year, another giant nerd took them home, all carefully bound. But then he died most inconveniently, and the papers were never found. Sacre bleu! This has got to be another temporary setback. Such bad luck, seems c'est la vie. Surely if you try again, you'll get back on the track. So suck it up. Or could this be conspiracy? Or could this be conspiracy? Once could be misfortune, but twice is persecution. From that time on, E'variste lost a sense of balance. His grasp on reality grew weaker. bitterness and paranoia were become his lifelong passengers. E'variste, but for now we must return to the time when his gap year was nearly done. It'll soon be gone, and his chance would come again to join his brothers in arms. Now it's time to learn, how his heart broke in a cruel stroke. Suddenly his poor heart broke and could never be the same. Bit of a mixed year, a bit of up and down, but his teachers will rejoice when he rides out of town. For it's now the 2nd of July, 1829, with his second audition for the Polytechnique in only 2 weeks' time. Surely his growing reputation will add some weight. Surely his impressive publication will open up the gate. Yeah, surely he would have grown a little more aware and know how best to pass the test and join his brothers there. And so we sing, surely his chances now are better than good. And so we sing, surely his time has come for getting to go where he should. Happened on that day, and now nothing is the same. His father was a good man. He did not deserve this, but there's no turning back. His father was a good man, but a victim of a most malicious and unprovoked attack from evil hands that graced a so-called man of God, with an evil heart so full of scorn and envy. You see, his father was just too well loved for this priest to bear. This so-called man of God, this green-eyed man of God, his father was a great man, well loved by all he chose to serve as their mayor. In his village he was well loved by all. His father was a kind man, but a cruel and callous deed drove him to despair. They were letters forged by this man of God with intentions so vile, forged and signed in your father's hand, full of malice and bile. And these letters were sent to your father's friends and his family to spread their poison, to spread their poison. My father could not bear the shame. For him, there was only one way out. And I was left to find him. And cut the rope. And at the funeral, this man of God rose to speak well of him. My father, the man he had destroyed. I would have killed him there and then had my family only let me be. But he still lives on, and my father is gone. There is no justice, there is no God, there is no hope. This game is over, there must be hope. It's over now, without hope there is nothing. It's over now, there must be my hope. Died with him, there must be hope. There is no point, there must be hope. There is no God, there must be hope. There is no hope, there must be hope. This game is over, there must be hope. My father's gone, and I am lost. Without hope there is nothing. Without hope there is nothing. Without hope there is nothing. Then there is nothing. In time, you will learn to love again. In time, you will dream and choose to care. But we have no time to spend on a gentle kind of healing. We have no time to dwell on all that's happened here. You must go on with a broken heart and senses reeling, or you will drown in a deep despair. It's time to think what your father would want, what your father would have you do. You owe it to him. Don't make this a double tragedy. It's up to you now. You have one more chance. Join your brothers in arms and claim your destiny. Here they come. E'variste Galois. We meet again. We trust this time you'll be better prepared. Shall we begin? And here is your first mathematical question. And here, and here, and here is my answer. Très bon. And here is another mathematical question. Well, and here, and here, and here is my answer. Très bon. Oh, and by the way, please accept our condolences on your father's most unfortunate accident. It was not an accident. Well, no matter. Perhaps it is best we continue. It was not an accident. Very well, but we are here to determine other matter. May we continue? S'il vous plaît. My father was a good man. E'variste Galois. May we continue? S'il vous plaît. Oui. Très bon. We trust you're familiar with the latest discoveries in our field. Logarithms. I am. Then here is an up-to-date question for you. Well, I cannot answer that question. But then again, no one could. It is simply nonsensical. Logarithms are additive by nature, but your question implies otherwise. This is an outrage. How dare you question our competence? We are the judges here, not you. Then you are fool. We are not in the habit of being attacked. This audition is over. Not so fast. I can accept that you have every right to seal in a done-dusty deal this wretched man's plight. Angry young man must be put in their place, no matter what. With no manners and lack of respect, they're a total disgrace. What else could you do? But how different this all could have been with a little compassion, which sadly in your time and ours is never in fashion. And how could you have seen the sad genius burning inside? With your mind and your eyes tightly closed and blinded with pride. So return to your haven, your ivory tower. We shall call you X and Y. Safe and complacent, you are unknown in your full sense of power. History will not recall your names. You have done what you must. He can go to the dogs. Oh, but please check up on how to use logs. Logarithms do not behave like that. And so E'variste returned with nothing to show for the things he had learned. And once more E'variste withdrew to a solitary world. What else could he do? And in his world, his solitary world of higher mathematics, he found beauty and creativity, like the Mona Lisa, or Michelangelo. And in this world he discovered a special kind of symmetry never never seen before, and strange new ideas that were so powerful. Just you wait and see, and so applicable in so many ways. Oh yes, in fact, it's time to show you we mean what we mean by applicable. The cell phones that lie sleeping in your purses, in your pockets. We hope you turn them off. The CDs and DVDs and extraterrestrial rockets. None of this could have happened. None of this could have been without E'variste Galois on the scene. But it took 200 years to crystallize his dream. You could say he was a tad ahead of his time. He sowed the seeds of digital. His weird ideas made it all possible. Facebook and your apps for everything. Google and Twitter. He was the pioneer that found a new frontier. He was the granddaddy of them all. But it took 200 years for the penny to fall. As in drop. July 1830, the Republican conspirators are clashing with the military. King Charles has fled the scene. The People's Revolution is no longer a dream. We have freedom, freedom, freedom from the monarchy. We have freedom, freedom, freedom from all tyranny. And marching hand in hand right there in the front line, so proud to make their stand, are the students from the École Polytechnique. But where is E'variste? I can hear the cries of my brothers in arms. Just beyond this wretched wall that burns my hands and stands too tall. From the monarchy, we have freedom. I can feel the strength of my brothers in arms. And if I could, I'd be with them there. But they're outside. I'm in here. I need to be where I belong. Just where my father would be now. Had he not gone, I need to join them in our freedom song. But I am trapped, and this is so wrong. So wrong that E'variste felt compelled to write a letter to the paper, revealing, oh, read all about it. Our dear director felt so concerned for his students' welfare that he chose to imprison us in a royalist stronghold that doubles as a second-rate school. He was uncertain what to do, poor fella, and so he decided to play it safe and wait with his students in their cages, so he could join the winning side. In short, he is a spineless, cowardly hypocrite who does not deserve to stay. We students of the École Normale have lost faith in him, and he should resign. But the director didn't resign for whatever kind of reason. Perhaps he didn't feel compelled, but the board felt the letter was tantamount to treason, and E'variste was expelled. And so he joined the artillery of the National Guard, a Republican branch of the military. But many of his comrades were all arrested and charged with conspiracy. And to make matters worse, the new citizen king felt the National Guard was a threat. And so by royal decree, he abolished them with glee. And we don't think that he's finished with them yet. Yo bros, listen in. How about got some good news. Our brothers have been set free. The conspiracy charges have all been dropped, which was more than we hoped would be. They have freedom. Freedom. It's time to celebrate. They have freedom. Freedom. Time to celebrate. And at the celebration, E'variste had drunk more than most. And on this great occasion, he staggered up to give a toast. My brothers, to Louis Philippe. His brothers were at a loss to understand until they saw the dagger in his other hand.
Nice one,
But the news soon got around of how he had made the scene. And the next day, E'variste was charged with threatening the life of the king. Round 3. We trust you remember his papers that were lost in a possible conspiracy. How could we forget? Well, in 1831, he submitted them once more, the last time to the same academy. This time was on another heavyweight. Wanted much more detail to decide if these strange new ideas had some merit deep down, or was he just being taken for a ride? But either way, the ending was another thumbs down, a rejection, a total fail. And E'variste got the news when he was in jail. There is no God. There is no point. There is no hope. There is nothing. There is no God. There is no point. There is no hope. This game is over. That is a fine dagger, my friend. You'll need to hide it well in here. There are many that would find it useful, in one way or another. May I? You can trust me. I am a radical, just like you, E'variste, but not as well known. We need to find trust and hope in each other. We cannot fight this alone. You know what I lack, my friend? I confide it only to you. It is someone who I can love with all my heart. I have lost my father, and no one has replaced him. Do you hear me? I hear you, my friend. When you behave in a dangerous way, in a dangerous time, like E'variste, then brothers, you're heading into a load of trouble that ain't never gonna ever work out fine. He was arrested again on Bastille Day, cooking up a patriotic storm,
his brothers in arms,
carrying several pistols, a loaded rifle, and a dagger or two, rather well armed, and wearing an illegal uniform
of the National Guard.
I guess you could say in some way he was making his point,
Emphatically,
living his dream, and his vision, at his vision, but the royalist caught one, not that impressed. He got another 6 months in prison. But wait. Perhaps in love. Stephanie was the daughter of a doctor in a hospital for prisoners during an outbreak of cholera. Perhaps in love. E'variste was a prisoner with the good fortune to be transferred there. Ooh la la. Perhaps in love. This young activist intrigued. We were in love. On his release, I indulged my curiosity. He was a strange mixture of passion and distraction. But I still had my other world as well. I soon grew tired of him. So what happened? It has just been 4 weeks. But I feel it may be over. Women are fickle creatures. And now this curious little man has become obsessed. My heart has stolen my mind. He insists on sending me letters. I write to her daily, which I haven't found the time to read. Were I not already broken-hearted, now I would be so. My brother and his friend have longed for a chance to be rid of this troublemaker. Your honor has been compromised. He has ignored your dignified silence. It is sufficient to justify a challenge. A duel? Would you mind? No, not at all. What have you done? What have you done? Now you may be a maths whiz, a genius, a prodigy, and a nerd, but that ain't gonna help a lot. With pistols at 10 paces, you're a rotten shot. And I know, and you know, the whole wide world knows. If this comes to a head in the morning, in some lonely field, they will find you dead. But of course your brothers won't let this happen. They'll make you your brothers, they won't let you go. They'll set you Your free. Brothers will stop this madness. If only you'd let them know. But you gave your word to your enemies that you would not tell a soul. And I'm sure they can't believe their luck. Your sense of honor will take its toll. And so it comes to this. Must it end this way? Can you not flow with the tide just this once? E'variste. And so it comes to this. What have you done? Must it end this way? What have you done? Can you not give this a miss just this once? E'variste. I am what I am. And I make no excuses for my plight. I cannot break my word. That would not be right. And now if you'll excuse me, I don't have that much time. And I need to write some letters to some close friends of mine. And then there is my other world that means so much to me. I need this night to last for 20 years, but that can't be. E'variste was found the next day, lying in a lonely field, mortally wounded. His last words were to his brother: "Please don't cry for me. I need all my strength to die at 21. 3,000 of his brothers in arms were in attendance at his final farewell. E'variste, your fight is over now. Rest in peace, you crazy nerd. E'variste, your dreams live on and on. Rest assured now, your cries are heard. Freedom! E'variste, your fight is over now. Rest in peace. Your father would be proud of you, you crazy nerd. E'variste, your dreams live on and on. Rest assured now, your cries are heard.